welcome to Make Me a Pro on YouTube. My name's Charity Mende. So today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to talk about and share with you something that I came across a few months ago that might help you. I know it certainly did help me. Regarding kind of finding your purpose in work and in life, but also managing kind of your habits and your practices to make sure that you really reach your full potential. Today's episode is going to be an interview with a very, very talented millennial called Ben Austin. Ben is the founder of Stop, Start, Do, and his whole purpose, or his title as a peak performance coach, and his purpose is to help people identify their goals and reach their goals through mastering their habits. I actually found him because he wrote an article on Twitter that both made me chuckle but really kind of helped me in my journey as I was kind of figuring out a few of my anxieties around, quitting my job, really figuring out and working out, came out of uni, didn't really know what I actually wanted to do. I still feel like it's a big journey that we're all on. And so we got chatting, and here are a few tidbits from it. Ben's article was titled How to Quit Your Job and Become the Next Steve Jobs. The link is in the download box, and you can check it out for yourselves. And he has some really, really great giveaways as well if you watch to the end of the video. So Ben is fantastic, and I'm really delighted to have him on Make Me a Pro. Hi, Ben.
Hey, Charity. Thank you for having me on your show. That's been very helpful for me because it's helped me figure out very quickly whether or not something is a good fit for me. Is you set a high goal that scares you, because you'll feel like you have a real natural resistance towards doing the things that are in alignment with your purpose. So you might be scared to start a podcast, kind of like what you've done, Charity, but you've gone through the process of figuring out how to do it and pushing through that whole process. But I bet at one point that thing really scared you, right?
Yes.
Like it was a very extreme. Yeah. What was your experience like, just so that I know?
For me, it was kind of like something, I needed to do something. I wanted to create something that was my own, but I also wanted to share experiences of the people around me. So I had a conversation with one of my mentors, and he was kind of like, you're not going to do this unless you do it on your birthday. So set that as your goal, that you're going to do it on your birthday, release it, etc. And I was just like, now I'm going to look stupid if I don't do it.
Right, yeah.
So that was the process, because I was dilly-dallying and kind of thinking about it for a really long time. And
well, how long from when you first had the initial thought to when you actually put out your first episode? How long was that?
It was actually not too long. It was like 3 months. But
okay, that's actually really good.
Yeah, but I was like umming and ahhing about that. I was umming and ahhing about doing my own project for maybe like 2 years.
Right.
The birth of the podcast was literally 3 months.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. And I think the point that I'm trying to make here is after you set that high goal and then you went out to actually achieve it, you learned a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
Right. You learned a lot more about what you want to do with your life and what you don't want to do with your life. But conversely, to the person who just graduated from college and they just go out and get drunk on the weekends, and I'm not criticizing anybody here, but they're living the normal post-college life.
Yeah.
They're not leaning into their edge. They're not the person who's out there trying to figure out really what's going to be a good fit for them. And you really need to be challenging yourself every single day and setting those high goals that scare you in order to really figure out what you're supposed to be doing. So that's awesome that you did that. I'm actually really happy it only took you 3 months. I can tell you, before I started my first blog, I probably thought about it for maybe a year, a good solid year before I actually started it. So that's awesome.
I mean, YouTube was another 6 to 8 months cooking. But...
Oh, really? Yeah. I find that's just kind of how long some of these big ideas, it takes you to really get enough motivational leverage in order to do it.
Yeah. I mean, and you literally have to start it and just go ahead and do it, right?
Exactly, right. And that actually that ties into the second strategy that I have outlined in this article. And you brought it up earlier, but it's committing to the process of mastery. So how typical people approach big goals is they are very, very patient about starting, kind of like you and I were. We were very patient to get starting. And then once they start, they get very impatient. They want progress, they want success right away, and when it doesn't happen, they quit.
Yeah.
So committing to the process of mastery literally means you are going to become a master at this, like the top 1% in the world at what this specific thing is for you. So in my personal example, I've committed to being like the best personal development teacher in the world, which means I have to become a certain type of person in order to do that. And I know for me that's going to take me about 10 years in order to get there. But because I am committed to the process, I know that it's going to take me a long time. I'm willing to put in the work in order to do that. And I'm also patient with myself. So like when I make mistakes and I do something stupid, I don't beat myself up for too long. I take the lessons that I learned, but then I implement those lessons and I keep growing.
Yeah.
So that's really what I mean by committing to the process of mastery.
Okay. So you got to stick with it and not kind of fall off track.
Yeah, but it definitely goes into that, and then it's mastery is like a different level of commitment, I guess would be the way that I would put it. Because like I said earlier, most people expect instantaneous results, and they get mad when they don't get them. But when you commit to the mastery, you are in it for the long haul, and you know that it's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
So there's a fundamental shift that happens somewhere in there.
Okay, that's great. And
Yeah.
so for those of us who want to get in touch with you, find out a bit more about Stop Start Do, maybe even read more of your articles, how do we do that?
Yeah, the best way to get in touch with me is actually to sign up for my email list. Currently, I'm giving away 2 different giveaways to people who sign up. One's a habits resource guide, and the other is another resource guide which breaks down different personality tests and tells you how you can use them and really learn more about yourself, which I think is part of this figuring out your purpose in life. It's another piece of that pie. So I think that'd be a really valuable tool to your audience. So if they sign up for that, they also get access to me. They get my personal email, and they can contact me and ask me any questions.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ben.
Thank you, Charity. It was a pleasure being on.